Father, please don't leave. It's dark. The witch could be hiding in here. Don't do this. I'm sorry if I have sinned. I didn't mean to. Please. My old nightstand. Mother said they threw it away. There's a matchbox inside the drawer. I can now try to light up the room.
Benedict! Where are you?
Mother, I'm in the basement.
For God's sake, don't get sick in that place. Get out immediately.
I'm still waiting to hear the prayers, son. What are you waiting for?
You live there? Why would you do that, Joseph?
It's his behavior that did that to him.
He was good all day. He helped me with the weeds and the food and...
And he talked to a kid at the funeral.
When did this happen? I didn't see him.
Of course you didn't. Because you don't care of this battle. I do. I should got you all downstairs. You all need to learn. Where is she? Where's our daughter?
Mother has dozens of the same in her room. Each has an engraving with a big scary eye inside a triangle. Help! Mother! Help me! You silly. What are you doing? It's me. I'm sorry. I thought you were that witch. How many times do I have to tell you? Witches don't exist, and it's just the two of us here. Why are you here? I heard Father talking to himself before going to get you in your room, so I ran here and hid. But why? You know he's going to be very angry at you once he finds out. Because I've promised I wouldn't let you be alone in the dark again. And when I promise something... You never break a promise, I know. I'm glad you were here. I can't forget our aunt's white face. Me neither. She looked so different. Her head was so bloated and pallid, and her eyes and hair so dark. The curse did that to her. Don't be ridiculous. She's at peace now. That's all that matters. I hope she is. You're wrong. Father would never lie to us. About what now? About the witch that cursed our bloodline. He's just trying to scare us with stories so we don't do anything wrong. And today you did wrong, so he punished you by locking you down here in the dark. What did I do? I still don't understand. You talked to that tall boy. Don't you remember? We are not allowed to talk to other people anymore. They are evil. I thought that meant we must avoid adults. How am I supposed to make friends then? Mother said we have each other and God. She's right. I don't think we need anyone else.
Your aunt was once such a beautiful woman, full of life, a perfect creation of God. But her fate was nothing more than a Sunday morning rite, and the witch's curse just a fairy tale story. Evil is everywhere, my dear children. It is hiding in the shadows of this world. It takes form of animals, and it possesses people.
Father, please forgive.
You should look up to your sister. Unlike you, she values God and this family.
It's my fault he went to talk to that boy. I ignored him because I was looking into the coffin and I lost sense of time. I beg you, don't hurt him anymore.
You must learn to be alone with God. You must learn. You all must learn what true faith is.
It was just a dream. I often think about that peculiar day, but I've never relived it so vividly in my dreams. Why now? Why in this place? I need my glasses. I can't even think without them. I still remember my father's exact words. This Bible is part of your body now. At all costs, you must keep it until death comes. It repels the darkness and keeps its fiends away from me. It's a personal document that allows me to cross borders. Ah, here they are. Fallen to the floor, but still intact. Thinking of the dream I had, I don't remember going to sleep at all. We came in, Victoria and Nikolai went upstairs to prepare for the castle, and then nothing. I must have fainted. I have to talk to Victoria at once. Nikolai?
Yes, Benedict?
Where's Victoria?
I don't know.
Do you have the slightest idea why Victoria rented this dreary house?
I don't even know how she found it.
Looks like the owner is some kind of artist. Or is at least convinced to be. Very morbid taste. Strange figures.
I agree. I've never seen so many masks in my life. Especially not placed on walls.
That's a strange painting.
It is. Take a better look at it, and tell me what you see.
Why?
Please, do as I say. I'll get to the point.
That is not a mere shadow. It's a symbol of darkness, of evilness devouring this lost man. A snake-like mouth implies a man who cannot be trusted, at the very least. Mean eyes at the edge of a wicked soul. I've taken a closer look at the painting.
You don't recognize this man?
I've never seen him before.
And nothing happened to you by looking at him?
Why would anything happen to me?
Last night, after your sister and I came upstairs, she was getting ready for the castle, and I was standing right here, and I wonder, yesterday when we boarded the train, was anyone else in our cabin?
You haven't answered. Why would anything happen to me? What's wrong with this painting?
I don't know yet. Please, just follow me as I go over yesterday's events. I'll get to the point.
Just the three of us.
But once the train left Budapest, wasn't there a man who came in?
By placing the sign, "Do Not Disturb" on our doorknob, I made sure this wouldn't happen. The only time that door opened was when the conductor peered in to tell us we have arrived at our destination.
And when we left the train station, no one was following us? Didn't Victoria notice him?
Notice whom? Your dear wife was over the moon to have finally arrived at Saint Kotar. She couldn't stop talking about the place, but said nothing about anyone following us.
Right. And on our way to the house, we stopped at the square. There was a strange ritual taking place, with a gigantic effigy. What was it like?
And what about the mass of hooded people that gathered there? It was a dreadful scene.
I remember the goosebumps when hearing the crowd pray as one voice, though.
Let me tell you what happened after that. We found the path which led us to this house. What happened when Victoria knocked?
Well, we realized the door was actually ajar.
And the owner wasn't here. Just silence. Dead awful silence. It gave me chills. Once we entered the house, what did you and your wife do?
I said it before. We went upstairs to prepare for the castle exhibition.
Leaving me to wander alone downstairs in complete darkness. You found nothing odd about the house being empty and unlocked?
I did, but Victoria said it's nothing to worry about. So I just followed her.
We never went to the castle?
You don't remember?
The last thing I remember is searching for a light. And then nothing.
What do you mean?
I mean, everything after was only a dream, but I don't even remember going to sleep. Victoria dragged me into this town to make me attend that piddling exhibition in the castle. We never went there, did we? Which means I left the monastery only to spend a horrible night in this house.
We both fell into an inexplicable void. Something is terribly wrong here.
Tell me what happened last night. What's wrong with this painting? And where's Victoria?
I'm afraid I don't have the answers. What happened is that while I was waiting for her to get ready, my attention was drawn by this painting. Next moment, I was seeing myself relive yesterday's events, with one difference. The man in the painting was there the whole time.
The whole time?
He was in our cabin. And he was that gigantic effigy the inhabitants set on fire. Shortly afterwards, he emerged from the crowd in human form again, unchanged, and then led us towards the house. Once we got here, he jumped on my back and asked me to carry him upstairs. I was happy. I felt like a father carrying his own child.
Carrying this being on your back must have some weird symbolic meaning.
He was holding so tightly that I could feel his long, sharp fingernails penetrate my throat. After we finally got upstairs, I was so upset and in pain that I had to throw him off. I quickly turned around to reprimand him and instead saw a human-sized crow with no eyes and a blood-stained beak. It croaked at me and then soared inside the painting. I wanted to run off, but couldn't. I was in shock, too terrified. That was the moment I woke on the bed, fully dressed and disoriented. Victoria wasn't here.
Why did you ask me all those strange questions about yesterday?
I had to separate the dream from the real, as the dream was startlingly real.
Startlingly real, just like my own dream. We should leave this accursed house at once.
After I woke, I noticed Victoria didn't even sleep on this bed. So I went downstairs to check if she was there, perhaps. I found only you, still asleep on the couch, and the door locked. That's when I started to think.
We have to force our way out of here because we don't have the key.
We are guests in this house, and needless to say, men of God. We must leave without doing any damage. I've already searched this floor for a key and tried to open the balcony door, but it's locked or stuck in some way.
What about the windows?
Strangely enough, or maybe for a good reason, they are made in a way that prevents them from being opened. Stay here and give it a second look. Whatever you can find that could help us. I'm going downstairs to check. Force should be our last resort to leave. Or maybe we get lucky and Victoria comes back in the meantime.
Let's hurry up then.
Just don't look at the man in the painting again. We don't want to risk anything.
I was right. It fits perfectly underneath. Looks like there's mud on the outside. That should be enough to open the door. My God. Nikolai, come upstairs, quickly! You must see this!
Coming!
Come closer. Take a look at this.
Oh, God. A rotten wooden stick. I don't need it. All crows look exactly the same to me, but this one seems to be missing its eyes.
Indeed. Just like the one in your dream. Someone's in the driver's seat. He looks tense, wildly moving his hands and head as if threatened.
Ah, you made it past the wall of crosses. Through tall trees, unmarked paths, and unnatural, dreadful silence. Into the heart of darkness where you invited us to meet.
We invited you?
You have, with your deeds.
I don't understand. What is this place? Why are we here?
This church was built with one purpose only, to repel evil from the Carcassa forest. It failed miserably, and was absorbed by darkness instead.
Chief, we'd appreciate it if you could tell us what's going on.
Words are unnecessary. Light always reveals. Lights on, officer! Now, take a good look.
God! What? Tell us, why are we here?
Lights off! Ranko Merzel, the beloved mayor of Saint Kotar, hanging up there all alone with a dreaded yellow mask. Underneath the mask, he has nothing left. His face ripped off, his eyes gouged out and eaten. His skull cut open, and parts of his brain eaten. All whilst alive, tortured cruelly by the moon ghouls, or those that want to become one. In the very end, his chest and abdomen were torn and his heart ripped out, to be devoured.
His body is still up there. How could you possibly know all these things?
We don't have to pull him down to know what happened. We've seen this too many times in our lives.
Who are the moon ghouls?
Saborans is their name. Servants of the moon demons. Some people believe they're not humans, but rather evil entities that take human form. We don't know who they are. They're hiding in the shadows, impossible to find.
This is a horrific crime scene. We shouldn't be here.
Is this the way you welcome strangers in your town?
We know the mayor was murdered by Nermin, a man who decided to worship the moon deities. The past teaches us we are unable to see the true soul of other people, no matter how close they are to us.
So you interrogate strangers and tell them of the existence of malicious beings, and in the end you show them their prey?
Nermin didn't feast on the mayor's corpse alone. There was someone else who joined the ritual.
The name Nermin doesn't mean anything to us.
We're here for the first time in our lives, Chief. What do you want from us?
Lies. All lies. Where's Victoria? Or should I call her Petra instead?
What do you mean?
We know she used the name Petra when introducing herself around town.
Our mother's name.
We just don't know where she's hiding, and we need you to tell us.
Why do you think she's hiding? We don't know. When we woke, she wasn't in the house.
It was our plan to go looking for her, but then your men intercepted us. We don't know where she is.
Do not try to make a fool of me. She was seen pushing a man from the castle roof last night. And when we found his severed head, he wore a yellow mask. We know she helped Nermin. Her scratch pad was found up in the belfry amongst pieces of human flesh. If you want us to search for her, fine. Once we find her, she'll face the same fate as Nermin. They'll beg us to end their lives.
Why would she help Nermin, a complete stranger to her?
The Saborans cult needed a witch among them? Morbidity and the occult fascinate her? She's your sister, you should know that.
This is insane. My wife would never do harm to anyone, let alone join a cannibal cult.
Who was the man she allegedly pushed from the roof?
We're still trying to fish his body parts from the chasm below the castle. Whoever he was, he's just one piece of the puzzle.
How can you be so sure of her guilt? What proof do you have?
We found her belongings in the belfry, and her coat in the woods, not so far from here.
Coat? How do you know it's hers?
A coat, badly damaged, with blood stains. Her wallet and personal ID were inside, but we also found something else next to it. An eviscerated fetus.
My sister was pregnant?
She still is. Don't you understand what they're trying to do here?
Victoria sacrificed her unborn child to the moon demons.
No. This is not possible. She would never.
We know she's hiding somewhere, and we know you're lying, which makes you her and Nermin's accomplices. She even tried to make us believe she killed herself after the murders.
An accomplice? I fell asleep the moment we entered that house. I am a man of God. How dare you put such sin on my soul?
I've seen many people say or think they're godly men. That means nothing. Faith is more than mere words.
Why do you think she tried to fake her own death?
There was a suicide note in her coat. Many have taken their own lives in this forest. She thought she could trick us with a message of repentance. Pathetic. You clearly don't have any intention to help us, but we might have means to change your mind.
Chief, do you really think we would be lying? Is my wife really capable of committing such atrocities?
Look around. Can you smell death? Can you sense wickedness? Of course I believe that. This is a cursed land. And I don't know who you are, and I don't trust you. None of you. Take them away. Make them talk.
Gentlemen, you know how this works. Follow me.
Why have we stopped, Detective?
Someone needs to help you out. I'm letting you go.
All of a sudden you want to help us? Why?
Your sister came here to join a madman? She chose this town to fulfill her occult desires? And you're helping her to hide. That's insane. Maybe she got kidnapped by Nermin and... I don't know. You must find her as quickly as possible.
Chief Noren will be furious with you.
I never lie to him. Or at least it's what he thinks. He won't question my decision to let you leave. But you have to give me your word you won't leave town. We have your passports, but one can always find a way out if he wants to.
We promise.
I wouldn't question a word from two priests.
I promise.
Start your search with the warden.
Everything is as we left it, but the crow's head is missing, and there's broken glass on the floor now.
I couldn't have missed the tallest building out here. This must be the lodge where Hatur resides.